Imagine for a moment that your entire life is running inside a vast cosmic computer. Your body is the hardware. Your mind is the software. The universe is the simulation on the screen. But you are not the avatar. You're not the code, not even the machine. You are the programmer, pure awareness itself. In this video, let's explore how this simple metaphor reflects the deepest non-dual teachings and why awakening is not about fixing your avatar, but recognizing that you are always the programmer. So first, let's map it out. Consciousness is the programmer. The programmer is not inside the computer. It is the intelligence that designs, runs, and can shut down any program, but is never affected by what happens on the screen. In the same way, consciousness is not inside your skull. It is the open, aware presence in which body, mind, and world appear. Second, the jiva, the individual, what we call me, is like a particular program. It has a name, a history, preferences, fears, desires, just like an app with its own settings and data. It feels separate from other apps, even though at the deepest level, all of them depend on the same underlying programmer. Third, the mind-intellect-ego complex is the software, the operating system. The mind receives inputs, sights, sounds, sensations. The intellect analyzes and decides. The ego stamps everything with mine and me. Together, they create a user interface we call my experience, much like an operating system creates a desktop with icons, windows, notifications. Fourth, the body, senses, and organs of action are the hardware. So the brain is like a CPU, central processing unit. The senses are like cameras and microphones. The limbs are like robotic arms and motors. Without software and power, the hardware is inert. It is a beautifully designed instrument, but not the true owner or experiencer. And finally, the entire universe, the entire field of experience is running the simulation. Space-time, relationships, events, birth and death. These are like graphics and storylines rendered on the screen of awareness. They are vivid, they are meaningful, but they are not the whole story of who you are. So where does suffering come from in this model? It comes from a single, very costly bug in the system. At the root of suffering is a simple line of faulty code. The app looks at the avatar, the body and personality, and concludes, that's me, I'm only this. This is what non-dual teachings call ignorance, avidya, not as an insult, but as a description of mistaken identity. And from this one bug, many error messages appear. Fear of death because the avatar is fragile and temporary. Anxiety and comparison because other avatars look more beautiful, more successful, more loved. Guilt and shame because the app believes it is the sole doer of every action. And endless striving because the avatar never feels complete for long inside the game. All of this comes from confusing the temporary character on the screen with the timeless programmer that animates the whole show. In other words, the true I am has been misassigned. The infinite programmer has been mistakenly entered into the field labeled avatar. So how does the game keep going? Think of karma as the program's stored state. Every action, every intention leaves an imprint, like writing data into a file or updating variables in the code. These stored values shape the next moment of experience, what situations arise, which people you meet, what tendencies feel natural to you, etc., etc. As long as the basic bug, I am only the separate avatar, remains, new lines of karmic code are constantly being written. The story becomes more intricate, the plot thickens, and many plots thicken. Then there is Maya, the rendering engine and abstract layer. Maya makes everything in the simulation look solid, separate, self-standing. You don't see bare code, you see sunsets, traffic jams, heartbreaks, promotions, arguments, diagnoses, and miracles. Maya hides the programmer and shows you only the rendered world. From within the game, the universe feels absolutely real and self-contained. But just like a virtual world has no existence apart from the console and the player, the universe has no independent existence apart from consciousness. It is dependently real, vivid, consequential, and yet not the ultimate truth of what you are. So what is awakening in this metaphor that I'm sharing with you? Awakening is not upgrading your avatar's armor or installing better emotional or productivity apps or achieving a permanent bliss state inside the game. Those may be helpful relative improvements, but they stay within the frame of I am this character. Awakening is a direct shift in identity. From I am this avatar in this universe to I am the programmer in whose universe this entire universe appears. So in the language of Advaita, this is the recognition, Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman, the one consciousness, shining as every mind and every world. What changes with this recognition? First, the avatar continues, of course, but the contraction eases. The body still wakes, eats, loves, eventually dies. The mind still thinks, the nervous system still responds, but the tight grip around this is all I am begins to soften. Life becomes more like a lucid dream than a prison. Second, doership and sufferership are seen differently. Actions still happen. Choices still appear. Causes still have effects, but now they are understood as movements in a vast totality, not the burden of a separate, isolated me. As the programmer, you are the silent, spacious awareness within which the entire system arises and dissolves. Third, the cycle of endless rebooting is understood. When one hardware setup fails, when the body dies, the stored code can boot on another machine. We call this rebirth, reincarnation. But when the assumption of a separate jiva has been seen through, there is no longer a separate me that needs to come back. There is only the programmer, which has never been born and can never die. Awakening, then, is not something the avatar achieves. It is the clear seeing already present in this moment that you were never just the avatar to begin with. How do we begin to live from this understanding? First, we listen to the teachings that challenge our default setting. We hear again and again, you're not limited to your body and mind. You're the awareness in which body and mind appear. This plants a new line of code, a new possibility. Second, we inquire. Who is aware of this thought, of this emotion, of this sensation? Does that awareness come and go? Or is it the constant background of every experience? Does awareness have a shape, a color, an age, a boundary? Third, we clarify the system through ethical living, compassion, devotion, and selfless service. These don't make you the programmer, they help quiet the noise so that the truth which is already here can be more easily recognized. And fourth, we sit in stillness, not to escape the world, but to notice that the same awareness is present in every state: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, meditation, on and on. Awareness is never switched off. It is the light by which every experience, including the experience of me, is known. The point is not to reject the game. It is to recognize yourself as the one that is playing, not just the character being played. So the next time you feel completely identified with your story, with success or failure, praise or blame, gain or loss, pause and ask, am I only this avatar on the screen? Or am I the open, aware presence in which this entire game is appearing? You can let your avatar live, love, create, and serve fully, while quietly knowing, in the deepest place, I am the programmer. The rest is my beautiful, transient display. So, once we understand this, we can explore the programmer's perspective in relationships, trauma, death, birth, etc. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Tattvamasi.